Hey, this is Josh here with today's Frontend 5, where I break down a front-end concept in 5 minutes or less. Today we're talking about backgrounds, all the different things we can do with backgrounds, how we can size them, how we can position them, whether or not they should repeat. All of that, I'm going to break that down for you in the next 5 minutes. So what I have to demonstrate in front of me is this star.png that I created, and it's 100 pixels by 100 pixels. Not that that's super important, but it's a small image, and I'm going to use that to demonstrate some of the background concepts that I'll be going over today. So the first one, I'm going to bring this up in my browser, and we have a div. It's a height of 100%, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to add my star.png background image using the background image property. Now we can see that this covers the entire page, but it repeats because the background is smaller than the div. It's going to repeat both horizontally and vertically. So how do we fix this? How do we either stop this from repeating or only repeat it in a certain direction? How we do that is with our background repeat. Let me go ahead and show this one as well. And let's go ahead and look at what happens when we hit repeat X. If we hit a repeat X, it's going to repeat only in the X direction. And the same thing is true if we say repeat Y, where it repeats in the vertical direction. Now, of course, if we don't want it to repeat at all, which is normally the case, then I'm just going to say no repeat. And that's going to stop it from repeating. Now, that being said, how do we position a background as well? Well, we do that with background position. You can see in this particular example, what I've done is I've created a div, and I have a height of 200 pixels. I have a width of 400 pixels, and I'm surrounding it with a red border just so you can see where it's at. Now I have my no repeat on here already, as well as my background image property, but now I want to position this within my div. I can use background position. So in this case, I have bottom right, and I can use the keywords center, bottom, right, left, top. In fact, I can say top right, or I can also say bottom, center. You can use any of those combinations to do that, as well as specific pixel values from the top left or percentage values even. So I could say 50%, 50% to center that in the left-right direction, as well as the top and bottom direction. So background position will allow you to center your background image as well. So far, we've been talking about backgrounds that are small. And in example 4, I'm actually going to be looking at background size. How do we cover our div? I've got the same div here. How do we cover it with our background size property? We can do that using background size cover. So this will cover it, and I already have my background position set to center. I can also use contain here, and that's going to make sure that it stays proportionally within whatever parent div I have. So if I use background size contain, that's going to be proportional. Now, the most common use case of all these is usually with an image that's at least as big as the background that we want to cover. So like a landscape image or something like that. In this case, I'm going to be using this image of this soccer ball that I found to demonstrate a couple of these concepts. So let's look at in example 5, the last example we have, how we can position this soccer ball in our image as a background image effectively. So let's look at what this example looks like right now. This image is large, and my div is only 200 pixels by 400 pixels. And once again, I have a border around it. I have my background repeat set to no repeat, but it doesn't matter in this case because it's actually bigger than the div. And then we also have, I can take out the margin, don't need that. We also have this background image of soccer ball dropped in here. Now, if we say background size cover, what that's going to do is that's going to make sure that my image is the same size proportionally to my div. So if this thing comes down to 300 pixels or 200 pixels, it's always going to cover that div. The other thing that I would need to do most likely is to set background position center if we want the focal point to be the center of the image itself. So let's say that my div was a little bit shorter. Let's go ahead and make it 150 pixels in this case. Let's take out center. You can see it's not centering on my image, but if I put background position center, it does center on the image. So I hope this was helpful for you. I know that's a lot of information in a short amount of time. If you like this video, hit the like, and if you want to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and beyond in 5 minutes a day or less, be sure to subscribe to this video series, and I will help you do just that. I'll see you in the next video.